Ephesians chapter 2, verses 1 through 10. Sermon in itself. But when we talk about grace, I found out that there are actually 11 different meanings for the word grace. I just gave you a few samples up here. What is grace? Now, we're going to be talking about God's grace. We think of amazing grace, God's marvelous grace. What is that? Well, most of us know that what it is, and we'll cover that in just a moment, but there are different meanings to the word grace. Graceful, someone is very graceful or smooth in movement. This is what Mr. Webster says. And our grace period, if you don't pay your premium, they won't cancel you. There'll usually be a grace period. They'll cover you for a period of time until you actually pay up. And then there's grace before the meal. How many of us say grace? Or someone will say, hey, can you say grace today? And always somebody in the crowd that'll say grace. They just say it. All right. A swan has grace, which means elegant movement. And then there are those who have social graces that are politically correct, socially correct. And so we look at those words grace, but we want to look today at what is God's grace. And I do want to point out the difference between grace and mercy. I've pointed this out several times to you in the past years. Grace, God gives us salvation, which is freely given, which we do not deserve. How many of you are sinners? Every hand ought to go up. Me, a sinner? The Bible says all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. And I reminded you that word fallen short in the Greek language has a picture of someone taking a bow and arrow and shooting it at a target. The target is being here, and the arrow falls short of the target. That's the picture. We've all fallen short of the glory of God. Mercy, on the other hand, is God withholds his wrath, which we deserve. And all of us as sinners, we deserve the wrath or the anger of God, not so much because of who we are, it's because the sin that we were inherited with when we were born. David said, in sin did my mother conceive me. It's difficult to look at a precious little baby and say that that little baby is a sinner. But as far as the Bible says, that nature, that human nature, that sinful nature is born with us when we are born physically. It's the nature within us. It's a sinful nature, and it needs to be changed. And by the grace and the mercy of God, it can and will be changed.